This is my shit right here. My top 5 point guards, no particular order. And this is going to show you my type of brain. This is going to show you the era that we came up in. So first off, we got to go with Uncle Drew, Kyrie Irving. I mean, have we ever seen anyone dribble or finish like that? Off the court shit, hey, that's a whole nother podcast episode in itself. But play style, creativity, man, Kyrie's a 101. Got to start with him. Next, I'm gonna go Deron Williams. This dude was a beast. In Utah and in Brooklyn. People forget about his Brooklyn days, but he was a good combination of power and finesse. You know, this guy had a stocky build. This guy, if you try to reach on, he'll bump you off. You weren't really going to steal the ball from him. Too smooth of a handle. And his crossover, his right to left, he got everyone with that same move.
He had the I got a question about Darren. Why the fall off? Because with him, I felt like it was just a summer, and he was an afterthought.
Injuries.
Is that really what it was?
Yeah. Leg injuries, yeah. That shit really just derailed his career. Sorry to say,
Simple
but
as
that's
that,
just
right?
what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, that was weird because he was. Remember that whole battle with him and CP?
Yeah, because they came in at the same time. They was like, always compared to each other. And for a point, Deron was right there, neck and neck.
Yeah, he was. I mean, there was a reason why he was the centerpiece to that Brooklyn rebuild,
Exactly. Yeah. And, that's the person that inspired me to get waves. So
still waiting for those.
Inspired me, but I would never could. I mean, I asked my barber and he just laughed at me. But that's neither here or there. We'll go next. We'll go Agent Zero. Mr. Pull a Strap Out. Man, he was just the first person that I recall that was shooting like that deep. And I remember, we used to hit the basketball court and I started shooting from that deep, especially being a shorter guard. The more range you have, the better it is. You want them people to come out. And really, people aren't going to guard you a foot over the three-point line. So if you could take 2 step back, master that shot, and just have a clean look every time, it's good. But he was Steph before Steph. He was Dame before Dame in terms of the long distance shooting. And just a great overall score. I mean, those 2-3 years he had in Washington was elite. Not only scoring in a plethora of ways, but also really clutch. He would hit those game winners and turn around before the ball went through the net. Like I said, Steph before Steph. So that's another one, Agent Zero. The 4th spot, I'm going to have to go with Point God, CP3. I mean, this guy taught my generation how it's supposed to be done. He was the last of the true point guards. That doesn't exist anymore. The only version that you could somewhat see is Lonzo Ball, but he's too damn passive and weak to even enter the conversation.
You said weak?
Weak ass knee, bro. He's showing Stephen A. he could do a sitting knee. I'm like, bro, that video did not convince me at all. Them knees looked hella shaky. Well, you need to get in the weight room. But nah, man, CP3 point God. I mean, dude, that guy just had the ball on a string, and his time, I think my favorite CP3 wasn't even New Orleans. It was the Clippers CP3.
Yeah.
That CP3 was a point guard that passed first, but if his team needed him to score, he could do that as well. The difference is in New Orleans, he had to do everything. He had to steal the ball. He had to score the ball and assist. In LA, he had to throw up the alley. But when it was time to take over, he would be the one to do it.
That team was snake bitten, that Clippers team.
For sure.
It was one guy this year, both of them the next year.
It was either Blake or CP3. Every year got hurt.
Yeah. And I mean, how much money CP made for DeAndre? I mean, he made DeAndre, on the all NBA team,
Yo,
throwing
I
him
think
out,
he
throwing
extended
him
his
lobs.
career by like 5 years playing with CP.
Yeah,
Because remember, he
CP was
kept
that
getting
guy.
chance after chance after chance.
It's going to be interesting to see what he looks like in that Warriors jersey.
Ah, I know. I forget about that, you know?
Yeah, it
But
doesn't seem real.
it doesn't seem real. That's weird. But we'll see how it works. I don't think it'll work, but we'll see. And last I gotta go with my boy from the Bay, Baron Davis. I mean, dude has so much sauce. He was really one of the first point guards that I looked at. He was a little bit more out of control than the rest of the point guards because Deron Williams will play with the ball, he'll cross you over, but his dribble was tight. His dribble was smooth. Baron Davis wasn't tight or smooth. It was kind of all over the place, but he would make it work and he would make it look good and he would hit a step back, spin, turn around. He just hit a lot of really contested shots and made it look relatively easy. Um, when he first came into the league, when he was on the Hornets, he had that crazy bounce. He was catching bodies, but that's not my favorite Baron Davis. We're going to have to go to the We Believe team, the team that
Yeah,
pulled off the greatest upset ever when they beat the number one seed of Dallas Mavericks in the first round of the playoffs. That Baron Davis to me was just a bucket, and you know I always modeled my game after these guys because it wasn't just about being a point guard, but it was about being a physical one. None of these guys shot away from contact.
um, one of my core childhood memories is being at your house and seeing him dunk on AK-47 and
Sick,
just seeing the building erupt and your house just erupting.
sick,
Um, I don't know. That was just one moment I have never forgotten. And
sick.
and seeing those, like seeing the highlights of that now, it's just like it takes me back to that night at your crib watching it,
Yeah,
West Coast time. You know what I mean?
for
No,
sure.
what a great list. So BD, Deron Williams, CP, um,
Kyrie,
Kyrie, and Agent
CP,
Zero.
Kyrie, Baron,
Agent Zero.
Agent Zero. My fault, Gil.